Amazon FBA has made a lot of people a lot of money, and it has also emptied a lot of beginners' wallets. So is Amazon FBA still worth it in 2026? Or did the easy money disappear years ago? The honest answer is somewhere in the middle. It's still a real business model, but it's not a shortcut, and beginners who go in with outdated expectations usually get burned. Today I'm breaking down what Amazon FBA actually looks like right now, the pros, the risks, and whether it still makes sense for a beginner. Amazon FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. You source or create products, send inventory to Amazon's warehouses, list the products on Amazon, and when customers order, Amazon handles the storage, packing, shipping, customer service, and returns. That's the appeal. You get access to the biggest e-commerce marketplace on the planet, and you outsource the physical fulfillment side to Amazon. It can be efficient and scalable, but it also means you're playing inside Amazon's ecosystem. They set the fees, the rules, the listing standards, and the algorithm. You're building on rented land. That's not automatically bad, but you need to understand it. The biggest reason Amazon FBA is still attractive is demand. Millions of people buy on Amazon every day. You don't have to teach people to trust the platform. They're already there with credit cards out. FBA also gives your listings Prime eligibility, which boosts conversions significantly. Customers trust fast shipping and easy returns. That trust transfers to your product if your listing is solid. It also removes a lot of logistical headaches. You're not packing boxes in your garage at midnight. You're not negotiating shipping rates with carriers as a beginner. That convenience allows sellers to focus on sourcing, branding, product research, listing optimization, and inventory management. For people who want an e-commerce business without becoming their own warehouse, it's still a compelling model. Now for the part most YouTube gurus skip. Amazon FBA is harder now than it was when the platform was less saturated. Competition is brutal in obvious product categories. Fees have increased. Ad costs have increased. Customers have more choices than ever, and copycat sellers move fast. In 2017 or 2018, a beginner could sometimes launch a basic private label garlic press, run some cheap PPC ads, and start getting traction. In 2026, that same approach gets buried. Amazon also has more compliance requirements, more account risk, more review rules, and more operational complexity. If you ignore the details, prep requirements, inventory storage fees, listing suppression issues, brand registry, packaging rules, you can bleed money quickly. So the old fantasy of easy passive income from one random product is mostly dead. But that doesn't mean the opportunity is dead. It means the standards are higher. Amazon FBA still works when you treat it like a real product business instead of a lottery ticket. Good product selection still matters more than almost everything else. Products with healthy demand, manageable competition, decent margins after fees, low return risk, and some ability to differentiate still have room. Differentiation is key. That can mean better packaging, a better bundle, stronger branding, a feature improvement, or a niche audience focus. If your product is identical to 10 existing listings from sellers with thousands of reviews, you're climbing uphill. Branding matters more now too. Consumers are more skeptical of generic junk listings than they were a few years ago. Strong brand identity, polished images, clear value proposition, and trustworthy listing copy help a lot. A lot of successful FBA sellers today are not inventing brand new products. They're finding boring but stable categories and executing better branding, better quality control, better listing optimization, better follow-up, better inventory management. There are a few different ways people use Amazon FBA. Private label is the classic model. You source a product from a manufacturer, brand it as your own, and sell under your own listing. This has the biggest upside because you own the brand, but it also requires more upfront capital and more risk. Wholesale is where you buy established branded products in bulk from distributors and resell them on Amazon. Lower branding control, often tighter margins, but sometimes less product development risk. Online arbitrage and retail arbitrage are where you buy discounted products from retail stores or online stores and resell them on Amazon. This can be a way to start with less capital, but it's less scalable and more hustle-heavy. For true beginners in 2026, arbitrage can still teach useful fundamentals, But private label or wholesale is where the more sustainable businesses tend to live. This is one of the most important reality checks. Starting Amazon FBA with almost no money is possible in some arbitrage scenarios, but building a serious private label FBA business requires capital. You need money for product samples, first inventory order, shipping, packaging, Amazon seller fees, PPC advertising, product photography, listing optimization, and some cushion for mistakes or slow sales. A realistic beginner private label budget might be a few $1,000s, not a few hundred. Could you do it leaner? Maybe. But going in undercapitalized is one of the biggest reasons beginners fail. They order too little inventory, run out too soon, can't afford PPC to get visibility, or panic when cash gets tied up in stock. If you're trying to build this with money you absolutely cannot afford to lose, that's risky. Amazon FBA is not a guaranteed return vehicle. It's a real business with real risk. Success on Amazon FBA in 2026 is less about secret product tricks and more about a handful of real business skills. Product research. Can you evaluate demand, competition, margin, seasonality, and risk? Listing optimization. Can you create compelling titles, bullets, descriptions, images, and A+ content that convert? Advertising. Can you run Amazon PPC without lighting money on fire? Inventory management. Can you reorder at the right time and avoid stockouts or overstock fees? Quality control and supplier communication. Can you work with manufacturers without getting bad shipments? These are business skills. Learnable, but not effortless. Amazon FBA still makes sense for people who are interested in e-commerce, willing to learn numbers, and able to treat it like a real business. It helps if you're analytical, patient, and willing to test and iterate instead of expecting instant wins. It's especially good for people who like product-based businesses but don't want to manage direct-to-consumer shipping themselves. It is not ideal for people looking for instant cash flow, people with no startup capital at all, or people who hate marketplaces and platform dependency. Is Amazon FBA still worth it in 2026? Yes, for the right person with realistic expectations. No, if you're chasing the old guru fantasy of easy passive income with one random product and no real business discipline. The opportunity is still there, but it's matured. The low-hanging fruit is mostly gone. The people still winning are better operators. If you want to try it, start by learning the model deeply before buying inventory. Study fees. Study product research. Study real seller case studies. Then start small enough to survive mistakes, but not so small that you guarantee failure through undercapitalization. Amazon FBA isn't dead. It's just not easy anymore. And honestly, that's okay. Real businesses are rarely easy. But for people willing to learn the game, there is still room to build something solid. Subscribe to Off Clock Hustle for more honest breakdowns of side hustles and online income ideas. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.